Hello and welcome to CD's Nuts Podcast. This is episode 2 of season 2. I'm by myself again. I'm sad because my friends just didn't show up yesterday when we were supposed to record, so I'm doing it again just so we have another episode go up. Don't worry, they'll be back. Those hooligans will show up again at some point. They're not really hooligans, I just don't really have a term to call them. So it's just me, mrseacoore again. We're just doing the thing. So I did actually listen back to the podcast last week. If you missed that one, go back and listen to it. I read a little bit of a story that I had been writing in college. Haven't finished it yet, but I read a little bit of that, and then I did Am I the Asshole? And yeah, I think I'm just going to do that in this podcast just because I had a plan for people to be here, and it didn't kind of get the people grouping together part, so it just kind of fell through a little bit, but it's fine. So I'm just gonna start it off strong. We'll get into more of the story stuff later, and I also want to, hopefully, when my friends join again, I want to talk a little bit about autism because I've been wanting to do a series called the Autism Chronicles, which is just me talking about my experiences with it, and I know, just from having been on Threads and TikTok, I have seen so many more people talking about autism lately, and a lot of things that other people have said I've started to realize not only about myself, but of other people, and then experiences around me that I didn't even realize related to autism. And it felt like it was something that was kept from me for a while, somehow. I mean, I know I live under a rock, because I don't care to go out all that often. I would rather just stay inside. I'm cool with it, but anyway. So, we're just going to start off strong. Am I the asshole for leaving my girlfriend after she got a dog? This is a maybe just reading the title. This is just a maybe reading the title. Unless you're, severely allergic or something. Otherwise, I don't really see a reason. But anyway, or if you don't both of you together don't have the finances to support a dog, that's a thing. If you don't have enough money to really take care of a dog, don't get a dog or if you're not home enough to take care of the dog, don't get a dog because dogs need social environments. Anyway. Hello, I'm 25 male, and my girlfriend is 23 female. We've been together for over a year, and we generally have a great relationship. She's funny and kind. However, yesterday when I got home, there was a golden retriever in our house. When I asked my girlfriend whose dog it was, she smiled and said, "Ours." I wasn't sure if she was joking or being serious, so I kept asking whose dog it was. Okay, no, that's definitely a way to, keep going. She kept smiling and saying, "Ours," and then proceeded to say the dog's name. I don't really remember what she said her name was, since there's a lot going through my mind. She even told the dog to say, "Hi, Dad." Little awkward there. I told her that she couldn't be serious right now, and she said, "Why?" with a big smile. I didn't say anything else and just left the house and went to a hotel. Okay. A couple things there. Nobody is in the right here. You should have tried to talk it out with her first. We're only halfway through this. A little weird. And she should have definitely talked to you about getting a dog in the first place. At the beginning of our relationship, I had told her that I don't like dogs and can't be in the same room with one. Even when I see one in public, I put a good distance between me and the person walking the dog. I told her if she ever wanted a pet, she would have to get a cat or just something that is not a dog. While at the hotel, my girlfriend called me a couple of times, but I didn't answer. Then she texted me, saying that I was overreacting and that my fear of dogs is ridiculous. Okay, first off, don't ever call someone's fear ridiculous because it's a fear to them. Even if they can acknowledge that their fear is like, it's not logical or doesn't make a lot of sense, they still have that fear. Like, that's kind of what fear is. Like, it doesn't matter. You're scared of it. Just leave it be. In a lot of cases, just leave it be. Like, whatever. Anyway. She said that I should at least give it a try and live with the dog for a while, and that she and the dog would help me overcome my fear. But I never asked to overcome it, and honestly, it never bothered me as long as there were no dogs in my house. I never got bothered by one in public because I always just kept my distance. I've never even petted a dog before, and never will. I ignored her messages and just went to sleep as I wanted to decide what to do when my head was clear. I don't want to be the guy who says it's either me or the dog. She clearly likes dogs, and I don't. So I was just thinking of breaking up with her, even though she has been amazing throughout the year. Yes, I think you're the asshole for wanting to break up with her, because you should be wanting to talk this out a little better than that, and you're just like, oh god, dog, nope, I'm out, oh, nope, can't do anything, dog in the house, no, like, what are you doing? Like, at least try. Like, you really like this girl, like, just try. Like, she is definitely an asshole for just getting a dog out of the blue based on the information that we've said. But the other thing is, why don't you like dogs? Because usually people have, like, a good reason. Like, I definitely think you're an asshole, but I don't think you're necessarily in the wrong for it. Because, like, this is how you feel. This is a perception thing. Like, but also, yeah, that's, like, getting a dog or a pet in general, if you're, like, a couple together, like, that, you should discuss that. Like, that should be something that's discussed beforehand, not, you just come home and there's a dog in your house. Like, I'm sorry, that's a little wild. But yeah, a lot of people are saying not the asshole. I would definitely say yes, but I'm not saying that it's necessarily in a bad way. I just think the way that the guy is going about this is a little weird. Alright, let's go and find some more stories. I'm going to scroll. Alright, I'm going to click on this one. This one might be dumb. Am I the asshole for thinking my dad is punishing me by making me get a job because my brother has one? Probably? I mean, it's a job, but let's read and find out. My brother crashed our dad's car, and my dad is making him get a job to pay him back. My brother has been working since late May, and he started complaining to our dad how unfair it was that I didn't have to do anything and got to relax while he had to work. My dad was ignoring him when he said that at first, but last night my dad came to me and told me that he wants me to get a job too. I told him I didn't see why I had to get a job, and when I didn't do anything wrong, he told me that it's to teach me work ethic. But I feel like I already have work ethic, and my grades at school show that. I told that to my dad and told him how I just want to relax this summer since the school year was overwhelming for me. He told me that he understands that, but he just wants me to be able to earn my own money. This upset me, and I told my dad I feel like he's punishing me for what my brother did, because if he would have never had a job, then he wouldn't be trying to make me get one. He told me that it's just because my brother has to spend the summer working, and he's upset by that. So my dad said that having a job would help my brother feel less upset and would help me in the future. Hearing that pissed me off because I wasn't the one who wrecked his car. He got upset with me and told me that it wasn't a punishment and to stop acting like it, but it feels like one to me, so I don't see how he gets to tell me what is and isn't a punishment. Yeah, no, you're definitely the asshole here if I had to say. Like, you can just get, like, a job really easy, like, and this is a very common thing that I think a lot of parents do, is just, like, telling their kids to get a job like, you might as well get some experience when you're young. Your dad's absolutely right. Like, he's not teaching work ethic. If you already have work ethic, you already have work ethic. That's separate entirely. The thing is that it is a thing for the future because a thing I think a lot of young people don't know. The original poster also said both he and his brother are 16. By the way, I just scrolled down a little bit to read that. But, yeah, I would just say go ahead and, like, just apply for a job. Like, do the thing. Just get one. Like, yeah, if you had a stressful school year, just, like, get a job. Get your own money. Yeah, sure. But also, the main thing is, like, resume. Build your resume up early because that helps in the long run. Especially now when, like, getting a degree in college is almost worthless compared to the price you have to pay for it. I mean that sincerely. I have a good college education. I have both a major and a minor under my belt, and a minor in Spanish, mind you, a minor in another language. Then it's almost unhelpful. The language one is like the thing that's actually helpful because that can get me into like several different positions that I'm more qualified to just because of it. I can speak multiple languages, but like the other thing, no, it's almost completely. It has no purpose in the workplace that I'm at right now, and the workplace that it would have purpose in, I can't exactly just go into it. Like I need to be kind of doctored into it or grandfathered in, and there's a lot of jobs like that, and the amount of money that I had to cough up for paying for college was pretty much all the money that I had in my savings that my parents started for me when my grandparents started for me when I was like 5. So it was all of that money plus $10,000 that I had saved up from having jobs in the first place. I had 2 jobs for 3 years. I worked at Food Lion and Build-A-Bear for 3 years. And this is going to college. Before that, I basically just did like odd jobs. Like I was a blueberry picker for this person down the road who actually had like, I think it was like an acre or 2 of just blueberry bushes that they had like, behind their house in a little field. But yeah, they had a lot of blueberry bushes and they were just, hiring whoever to just come and, get blueberries for them so they could sell them to the market or, whatever. And we picked, like, we only did it for, like, 4 hours a day, and I only got paid, like, it was less than minimum wage, because it wasn't, like, there wasn't an official, like, document to be signed. It was just, like, an odd jobs kind of thing. And so I was like, almost like being a babysitter. But, like, it still, like, was helpful. Like, I did that for two separate years just in the summer, back when I was in high school. But, like, no, getting a job is definitely an important thing. I would say that you're definitely the asshole because you're kind of overreacting to it, if you ask me. I mean, that's just my thing. Let's see. I'm looking for something interesting here. Oh, this sounds really good. This one sounds good. Am I the asshole for making a little girl cry at the hospital? I've been in the hospital for the past few days with my grandmother. She's on life support and isn't looking good. I've gotten about 6 hours of sleep combined with the past 3 days, so I'm pretty cranky. I have a 4-month-old that I've been avoiding taking to the hospital because of germs, but I had to bring her for an hour while my mom came to get her. We stayed in the waiting room because I don't think babies can be in the ICU, plus I wouldn't want her there anyway. The little girl, maybe 2 or 3, was also in the waiting room. It was just my family and hers, and there were about 4 or 5 people in her group and about 15 people in my group. I know that's a lot of people, but we thought my grandmother was about to pass at any moment. Anyway, this little girl started talking to my nieces. Oh, sorry, not talking. This little girl started taking my niece's dolls and not giving them back. That was just at first. Then the little girl started screaming her head off and tried to go into the ICU. Her family would just tell her to come back to them, and she would for a moment, and then she'd go right back to it. She started crawling on top of my brother-in-law, and he was getting super annoyed. Then she noticed me holding my baby and came to look at her, which I didn't mind. My baby is 4 months old now and loves grabbing at toys and chewing on everything. Now this little girl started pulling the toys out of my baby's hands repeatedly, and her mom from across the room just kept saying, "Lana, give it back," but the little girl wasn't listening. This went on for like 5 minutes until she grabbed my baby's hand again and very roughly tried pulling her fingers from off of her toy. Babies always have a tight grip on everything, so she started pulling hard. I said very loudly and pretty pissed off, "No, this isn't yours. Go back to your mom." She started crying a little and ran to her mom, who was obviously pissed, and said, "You have no right talking to my daughter that way." And I replied, "If you would watch your kid, I wouldn't have to." Already, just from this alone, not the asshole. 100,000% not the asshole. Oh my God, I cannot stand parents that just basically do nothing with their kid. Absolutely cannot stand them. I am a very easygoing person, but parents that do like nothing for their kids, like don't even act as like a boundary, because sure, you can be like, "Hey, don't do that." Why not just act as a boundary? Like, put yourself physically between them and the thing that they are trying to mess with. You don't want them to mess with. They can't get to it anymore. Problem solved. Just saying. And it teaches indirectly. Anyway, it continues. And that was that. My family is on my side because they were getting pretty annoyed too. The little girl also threw one of those hard water balls at my elderly uncle and hit him in the chest. I feel like I'm in the right, but I have the really bad guilt feeling in my chest for talking to somebody else's kid like that and making them cry. Am I the asshole? Edit. I also forgot to mention that the mom was on her phone the entire time, and who I assume were the parents and husband were just sitting there talking. Okay, I can accept some people calling me an asshole for talking that way to a little girl instead of her mom, but I won't accept my family being called the asshole for 15 of us being at the hospital. At this time, the doctor didn't believe she would make it, and we were getting prepared for her to pass away. Before my grandma went into surgery, before she was put on life support, I was the only person there because it wasn't that serious yet. She kept asking who was going to be at the hospital to see her after the surgery and had me call everyone in the family to have them there, as if she knew something was going to go wrong. I really think she just didn't want to be alone, so I definitely am not going to apologize for having that many people in the waiting room. The waiting room is huge, and it was only my family and the little girl's family there. Yeah, honestly, like, that's meaningless. That's, like, I don't know who would call you an asshole for that. Like, that seems like a pretty normal thing. Like, I saw no qualms with that whatsoever. That's crazy. Anyway, for everyone asking if my grandmother is miraculously getting better, she woke up and started pulling at the ventilator and was even conscious earlier. The doctor still doesn't think she'll make it through, but he was wrong when he said that she wouldn't make it through the night. I just hope he's wrong again. Bro, that's incredible. But no, the mom is definitely the asshole in this situation. Original poster, you are not the asshole whatsoever. Parents that cannot be bothered to actually parent their children have no right getting mad when someone else does it. Absolutely none. And I'm going to put it like this. Like, you can sit there and talk to the other person, let your kid do whatever. The moment your kid starts doing something that they shouldn't be doing or that you don't want them to be doing, you need to now get up and act as a boundary or create a boundary to prevent your kid from doing that thing again. Especially if you know that they're the ones that tend to kind of go right back to the thing that you don't want them to do. Just yelling at them might not solve the problem. But you can't just let kids do whatever they want, and you shouldn't hurt your kids or hit them or spank them. Don't ever do that. That just teaches them how to be aggressive, in all honesty. Like I've had to kind of learn about that because I used to be kind of aggressive back when I was younger, but I kind of like taught myself not to be that way after enough time and patience. But yeah, no, seriously, like, take away things from them, create boundaries. And if they break the boundaries, take things away from them that would give them reinforcement. Positive or negative reinforcement. It doesn't matter which. Take away things that would give them reinforcement for certain behaviors. It's very effective. This is a psychologically proven method. But whatever. No, seriously, no, you're not an asshole. I would have probably said something to that. I would have probably said something to the mother if they were like that. I might have even pushed the kid, like, away from me and said, what are you doing? This is my, like, baby. Get away from my baby. Like, no, I'm sorry. I don't even understand why she was over there by the baby in the first place. That's, like, kind of crazy to me. Alright, let's go and find some more of them. Oh, let's see. My husband pantses me. Okay, no, I need to read this one. Oh gosh, there's a lot to unpack from this sentence. Am I the asshole? My husband pantsed me while I was changing our baby's diaper, and I asked him never to do that again. Not a long story here. I, female 32, was changing our baby's diaper when my husband, male 37, snuck up behind me and pulled my pants down. Not just the pants. Oh, just the pants, not the underwear. He wanted me to include this part. He did it to make me laugh. Oh, it's okay. This guy is an idiot. I can tell that just from that information alone. He is an idiot. It does not really matter. I elbowed him and yelled at him. I apologized for elbowing him. It's just a gut reaction. I asked him never to do it again, and now he won't agree and keeps laughing. He says I'm overreacting, but I'm really just asking him not to do it again, and I'm worried he's going to do it all the time now. He says he'll stop if the internet agrees with me, but he is confident you will all think he's hilarious. No. What? Is he okay? Does he have a couple screws loose? The hell? I really don't want to deal with this anymore. Please just say it's funny once, but not again. Update. You guys really need to chill. I'm not going to divorce my husband because he made a joke that didn't land. That's not how marriage works. Good for you. Good for you. I don't know why people tell you to divorce him over that. Like, I can just tell you, no, that's not okay. That's pretty stupid. Anyway, in an ironic twist, I have decided we are now a pantsing house. I will pants him as often as humanly possible, and I will be wearing dresses to make myself unpantsable. Thanks for the terrible advice, although I do agree that no means no. I just don't think it's that deep here. Okay, well that's fair. I mean, you haven't given us that much information, so I don't have a lot to go by. My husband's a really good guy and is genuinely funny for making the whole family laugh. He's known for it. So I'm going to let him do his thing. Second update. I turned off my notifications 10,000 something ago. It just says 10,000. So I'm filling in a blank there. From what I can tell, it's basically the same stuff. Calling my husband immature or a creep, and then me a doormat for siding with them after reading your unhinged comments and realizing I wanted to be on the side of sanity. Kudos to the people who say, hey, glad you guys can have a good time, because we always do. We always do, because we're happily married and we love each other. We just like to joke around. We've been together for 11 years. I highly encourage you all to laugh at your partner's jokes, and if you don't think it's funny, just tell them to stop, and they will listen to you if they're the right person. Like my husband is for me. Find someone who makes you laugh, and then likes to have fun, and don't squash their joy for being a stuck-up asshole. You'll be happier if you lighten up, and so will they. I mean, in a lot of cases, but everyone perceives things differently, so I'm not really going to be a judge there. Thank you for everyone who genuinely cared about my well-being. I really worded my post to make it sound like I didn't also think it was funny. To be fair, I was laughing while I posted this and didn't think anyone would respond, but thanks anyway, you have a good heart. So, have a good life, everyone. I doubt I'll ever be on this cursed app again. And please, for the love of all that is holy, never ask strangers on the internet for their 2 cents on your relationship. You didn't even ask anyone for their 2 cents on your relationship. You just asked if you were the asshole for telling him never to do it again, which, no, you're not. Yeah, eventually you ended up just pantsing him every chance you get, so it's basically just you're both doing it to each other, which is just whatever. Which is good. Good for y'all. But, no, not the asshole. Husband kinda was, but whatever. You moved past it, I guess. I thought that was going to be so much more than what it was. That actually has me sorely disappointed now. I thought I was getting into something amazing. Right, alright. We'll do one last one before we end up just saying we're done here. So let's see. Oh, that might be interesting. Would I be the asshole if I left my girlfriend because of her child? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe so. I'm having to skim, and I'm not very good at skimming. No, I think I'll just go differently. Oh. This seems something. Let's see. Teen daughter is aggressive and sent to juvenile home. Am I the asshole for making her stay with dad after she assaulted me, sister, and stepdad? Okay. My 14-year-old daughter has lived with me for 2 years, and her behavior has gone from bad to worse. It says sole custody in parentheses. She is constantly swearing at me, refuses to go to school. When she does, she gets suspended for fighting, runs away, punches holes in the wall, god damn, and has punched me numerous times. Recently, she assaulted her sister. I tried to intervene, and then she assaulted me. My husband had to pull her off me, and she assaulted him. The police were called, and she was and she was charged with 3 counts of domestic assault. I'm tired of her behavior and completely worn out. She refuses medication and has been dropped by 2 different psychiatrists for not meeting therapeutic goals. We have tried everything. I'm unsure where to go at this point. She was just released from juvenile and is on house arrest. I sent her to her dad's house. She has mental health issues and self-harming behavior. She has told people her dad has sexually assaulted her. There was an investigation and his polygraph was solid. Her story continues to change, and the abuse got worse each time she told CPS or the detectives. I don't believe it, which is horrible because who would lie about this? She has run away from my house to his a few times, so I find it hard to believe someone would run to their abuser. I don't know what to make of it. I want her to get help, but unfortunately, she is refusing it. I hate that she has to live with her dad if he did anything to her, but having her around my own daughter is not an option at this point. Advice? Ooh. So, that's definitely something here. As someone who's older, I definitely understand running back to someone who abused you, because there is a type of familiarity that comes with that, and it's almost like a brainwashing in like a way, because you get so used to it that you just think this is a norm for your life, and that like without it your life isn't correct. And it's so weird that that's how the mind starts to think, but after enough time that's how it can think. But there's not enough information here for me to determine like any one way that it could be. Like, I pray that, you know, your daughter's not actually being abused by the dad, but like it definitely seems like there's some neurodivergent behavior going on here, and much more of an aggressive kind. Medicines might not be seeming to work. I would definitely recommend behavioral modification, which it takes a very long time, but it's extremely effective, is the kind of push and pull that gives. And I would definitely say you're not the asshole. You're just trying to do anything that you can to protect your daughter and your husband and yourself. So it's like you're trying. And what I want to know is what the father's doing. Like, what is the father doing to help this? Because y'all both had her. What is he doing on this side? You said his polygraph was solid. Now, here's the thing. Polygraphs, yeah, they can be solid, but if you are very good at lying, see, polygraph means almost nothing to you. Because I will say it like this. Someone with, take for instance anybody that has antisocial personality disorder. If you put them up to a polygraph, they can pass it flawlessly, lying the entire time. Because you need hard evidence to disprove someone like that. Because it's not the easiest thing to pass a polygraph test, but it's not hard either. So that's the one thing that I would be thinking about. I want to know more about the father before I can really say anything about this. So let's see. What's her dad been doing through all of this? Is being helpful or supportive? Then the original poster said, he's been supportive as much as he can be. He's hesitant to be around her because of her accusations. He's just as unsure how to deal with her as I am. She isn't physical with him like she is with me, at least not right now. We're on the same page, but I don't think he truly wants her with him. I wouldn't. Okay, so now knowing that, I would probably just say, yeah, that's kind of wild. No, she absolutely, juvenile isn't going to help her. It's only going to help, it's going to help teach her to be aggressive and remain aggressive towards other people and stay in the mindset of lashing out and not trusting of other people. I would say try behavior modification, and it's probably, it might not even work, just because if she's just that, aggressive and violent even, there might not be much you can do. Sadly, that just might be it. I don't know. That's pretty much the only vibe that I'm getting here. But anyway, that's going to be all for me. That was the last one that I wanted to look at. Just to top it off, get us a nice half hour of podcast here. Sorry that my friends still aren't really here with us. I hope that they come back. I hope to do more than just reading stuff online / stuff that I've written. And I really do want to do the Autism Chronicles with my friends. But we'll see. We'll have to get into it. I'll have to talk to Justin Nutt, one of our co-hosts, about it. See if I can get him on Wednesdays. Just, be on podcast with us at the very least. So we can have some back and forth, rather than just me talking and having my throat not really want to talk for half an hour after that. But anyway, We're going to go ahead and get up out of your seats next time. Remember to follow us on Spotify. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. It very much helps us out. And you can find us also on Twitch if you want to see me, myself, do streams. Sometimes with friends, sometimes not. Sometimes with friends, most of the time not. But so with that, we're going to get out of here. Thank you all so much, and take care, everybody.